In this video, we're going to create the shotgun and add a few extra features to our enemy here so that he takes some damage and actually displays that damage. We're going to add particles in the next video, so stick around for that one. This one's going to be quite short. All we're going to do is actually make a duplicate of the pistol down here. So I'm going to duplicate that scene. I'm going to call it shotgun. And then I'm going to open that up. And we're going to go through and change a few of these things here. So this is going to be called shotgun at the top. That's all that I'm going to add there. And this gun ray, I'm going to duplicate maybe 7 times. So I've got 8 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cool. Now with these, I'm going to grab every second one and I'm going to shorten the length of this to -10 so they don't go out as far. And then number 3 and number 7, I'm going to make it -15 on that. And then we're going to go ahead and open this up. So all that should happen now, this should just work. If I was to put this weapon in the game, it should work, except I want to grab some of these and I'm going to go to transform. And on the, I want to rotate it on the Z axis, I think. Let's see. No, not the Z axis. I want to rotate it on the X axis. Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to grab some of these and kind of rotate them so they point in different directions. Now, the further you point them away from there, the less accurate this is going to be. So I'm going to grab that, and some of them I'm going to rotate on the Y axis as well. So it kind of goes outwards like that. And then 4, I'm going to do it the other way, make it go that way. I would like to add a little bit of variation to this, some random variation. Number 5, I'm going to rotate it on both of these. So I'm going to move on the X and then a little bit on the Y. And then number 6, I'm going to move it on the X up and then Y that way. Okay, so these are going to be kind of the blasts from the shotgun. And number 7, we're going to rotate, move it that way and up. Okay, and then the final one's just going to go straight down the center, which is the normal one anyway. Now what I need to do is go ahead and change the graphics for this. Now I've already imported some sprites, and the sprites that I have here is the shotgun. I think it's called the bear killer or something on there, but I'm going to delete this sprite. Remember to use this bin icon here and bring that one in. That's going to be my idle sprite. And we'll just change this over here to idle. Cool. Now it probably needs to move a little bit to the right. That's good there. And then I'm going to have the shoot one. Now I'll bin these. The shoot for this is kind of weird. I'm going to add these sprites in and then I'm going to make a change to it. So I'm not adding these ones down the bottom. I don't know what they're useful for, but I am going to add these ones. So all of these are fine, but then these random ones, if I play this animation, you'll see it doesn't make much sense. It looks like he's loading it twice, but it's not quite working for me. So I'm going to get rid of these 2 here. I don't know what they're for. This one, I'm going to move these along. So it looks like I'm actually going to make this one. Where is it? There's one where he like puts his hand out to it. Here we go. I'm going to put that one there. And then I'm going to put that one there. And then where he's moving his hand away from it, that one's going to go there. And then there. And then the empty gun. And then we're going to make the hand come back. Put the shotgun shells in. I'm going to remove that one. And then I'm going to use this one here. This one here, copy it down to the end here. And that one, copy it down to here. And that one, copy it down to there. And that's ready to go, I think. So let's go ahead and check what that looks like. I'm going to move it down to maybe 8 frames per second just so I can see it. I'll put it on shoot. Okay, that's pretty much what I want. I might increase the speed to 10, but oops, I do want it to loop. And let's see what happens now. So I need to go to world and I need to go to the player and edit that. And I'm just going to remove the pistol node here and add in the shotgun node for now. We will add some code so that we can change those in just a minute. So I'll add the shotgun there and I'll test the world scene. Okay, so I've got that and that definitely worked. All right, so we can go up here, visible collision shapes, visible navigation. You may have seen some of my previous videos. I've got, so I'll just run that, this stuff here. So you can see there that certain shotgun things are colliding. Done. All right, now the next thing we're going to do is make sure that this guy actually takes some hits. And the code for this was really simple. I said I was going to do it in a previous video, but for some reason it wasn't working. However, it's working now, and I'm not sure what I did different, but it should work for you. So in this function take damage, this is on the enemy script, we are going to add here, after calling death, we're going to add a line in here, return. Then that's just going to stop this. If they die, it's going to stop it coming back and running these things here. So once they're dead, they're dead. That's it. End that function, done. But then after return, on a new line, I'm going to add these 3 lines. So I'm going to say animated sprite 3D, play the hit animation, yield here. So wait for the animation finished, and then play walking. I'm also going to add in a new variable at the top called bar move equals true. And here, I'm going to say move, oops, not there. Here, move equals false. And at the end here, move equals true. Then under physics process, I am going to here, I'm going to add a line here, if move, that's all. Now that's going to mean that when he gets hit, he's going to stop moving. So just take some time to look through what I added in there. I add a variable called move. When they get hit, I set it to false. We wait for them to finish their hit animation, set the sprite back to walking, and then move back to true. And if they're moving, it's going to move along there. So I can test this code. I'm going to just turn that off so we can actually see the sprite. And project, where is it? Debug here. So let's go and test this. There he's moving. I just want to make sure I don't, there he got hit. Make sure I don't hit him too much. He's out of range now. There we go, another hit, and then boom, done. Okay, so that's what we've got so far. The last thing we're going to do is make it so the player can switch weapons. And I just need to bring up my previous version for this because I've already written this. Whoops, we'll just bring that over here. And I'll go to the player code and we're going to switch over to our player here and open up the script for the player. And what we need to do is check. We go down here in process. This is where we're going to put it. We're going to put it in here, and it's going to be if input.is action pressed. We'll say just pressed. And we're going to say next gun. Now, if you haven't got these defined, you'll want to go project settings, input map, and change next gun in there. Now, I've tried using the scroll wheel for this. It even says mouse wheel up button, wheel down button. It doesn't seem to work for me on here at least. So I may have to play around with that and see. It may be the mouse that I'm using, but you can try and put those in. I've just used E and Q, and I'm going to bind them to the number keys as well later. So if the action is just press next gun. Before we do this though, let's just write parts here. So we're going to set some stuff up at the top, which I forgot about, under gun variables. So let's go ahead and get these on ready. Pistol equals, let's go and right click this and copy path, preload that. And I'm going to copy that line, put on the next one, change that to shotgun, and change this to shotgun. and then variable current gun equals 0, and then on ready bar guns, let's say carried guns equals, I'm just going to give the player both to start with. Now what's going to happen here, carry guns equals, right, so this here is the gun variables. Now there's a better way that we'll probably do this later with the player stats. We don't have health or anything yet, but for now we can just put it in here, and we're going to say in here, say current gun, bring up my code again, underscore gun plus equals 1 if the current gun is less than, is greater than the length of the carried guns list minus 1, because that's going to give us a length of 2, but there's no 2 index. There's only goes 0 to 1 at the moment. So if it's like that, I'm going to say current gun equals 0 and change gun. And the gun that we're going to change it to is the current gun. Else, or LF, it's going to come back here actually. LF input dot is action just pressed. And why is this giving me an error here? I don't know why it took a while to get there. Previous gun. Gun minus equals 1 if current gun is less than 0. Current gun equals length of carried guns minus 1. Notice the opposite there. By the way, this is a mistake. That should be there. We only want it to do that if they get to the end of the list, and then change gun current gun. Very simple. In this bit here, we are going to say $pivot, so referring to this, /gun, referring to this, dot, get child 0, so get the first child in there, dot Q3, we're going to remove that first child in there. Then we're going to say the new gun equals, we are going to make an instance, so carried guns, current, actually that's gun, because that's what the variable is that I've called it here. So I send it the current gun value, takes on the variable called gun here, gun, dot instance, and then $pivot /gun dot add child new gun. This should work, hopefully. Let's go back and test it. Well, I've got some errors down there. I'm not sure what they're doing. Okay, so I've hit E or Q. Q worked, but E didn't. Oh no, it did. Okay, so I can switch guns. Now we may put in a little animation later. And I also need to add in a crosshair as well. But that's working now. And in the next video, I said we were going to add some simple particles as well. So we'll get onto that shortly.